What's going on, everyone? My name is Jesse. This is the Auditorium. I react to video game music for the first time. As a musician myself, today is kind of a special video and also a mistake on my end. I'll explain a little bit. This is the return of Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. We're listening to Gangplank Galleon from Switch Game OST, followed by Aerith theme from Super Smash Bros. Ultimate from the channel Yoshi Vibes. These are requested by Sohnano and Niklas. Thank you. Let me briefly explain what's going on here. I just reacted to Gangplank Galleon and missed this one. This was requested as well. So I have to do this one. I didn't realize there was one I didn't do. But also, since I like to do 2 per video, I was like, okay, let's see what else has been requested from Smash Ultimate. So I looked at the longest waiting one, and lo and behold, it's Aerith's theme. Now, I'm very familiar with FF7 and Aerith's theme and all that, so that's interesting. I can already feel this video is going to be a huge shift in tone just because of that. And we'll talk later, but yeah, so that's why this video is happening. This is the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate remix of Gangplank Galleon. If you want to see my original reaction, it'll be at the end of this video. Let's go. What? It sounds like a parade. I was not expecting it to sound anything this festive. Oh, wait a minute. Is this like a mariachi cover? But faster? What is this? What is this version? It sounds kind of mariachi. Just mariachi's not this fast though. But all the trumpets? What is going on here? It's like electronic mixed with like regional Mexican music. What? I don't know what they were saying. There's a wah guitar on the right side. Very funk. This is a weird remix. We're about halfway, so it loops a bit. I don't know how to say this, but this theme in general, in every version it's in, sounds so Nintendo. And by that I really mean it sounds very Koji Kondo. But I'm like 99% Koji Kondo, nothing to do with this. But you know, just like that melodic structure feels very Zelda. And like Mario, kind of. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. If I recall correctly, it was either Robin Beeland or David Wise. It's so fast. Who's talking right there? Is that him? You can hear the guitar here a lot. It sounds like English, but honestly I don't know. It's a cool halftime breakdown there. It's almost over. Man, Smash Bros. Really, like, gives you bang for your buck, don't they? At the end of the day, Smash Bros. Is like fan service 101, right? All these walks of life in one game, just beating each other up. I'm confused though on something. Is this the last game? It's called Ultimate. I don't know where it became like a disconnect, but people now define Ultimate as like the best or the coolest. Ultimate just means last. That's all it means. That is the definition of Ultimate. Last. Because if you ever heard of penultimate, it's second to last. But Ultimate now is like, it's like another word for like the best or the greatest. So I don't know if that's what this is really saying, like Super Smash Bros. Coolest, or if it's the last one. Does anyone know that? I don't know. Well, I don't have much to say about this because I already reacted to the main theme of this. But I will say this is like a very unique take on it. Was not expecting anything like it. I don't know if this character is supposed to be like goofy, corny, or if he's really serious, or both. If I had to just by looking at him, just like off of his stature and his antics, he looks kind of silly. Kind of reminds me of Dingo Dial from Crash, something like that. Probably doesn't speak with an Australian accent, but from what I'm seeing, it's a crocodile with a crown and a cape. So he's a king crocodile, basically. In that regard, I can hear the trumpets being used as like the whole king royal thing. Dun, 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 dun. It actually sounds like a, something like that would play from a king, like a bugle type of thing. But this version was like sped up by like 10% or so, which I was not expecting because hearing the metal version, I thought that was going to be the most sped up it was going to be. But this was weird because it was like a hybrid of mariachi music, which is already, unexpected. But it had a lot of electronic elements, but also funk. So, I don't know. And then the vocals were just kind of out of nowhere. I don't know what they were saying. I mean, it's cool. I'm not complaining. It's just I wasn't expecting anything like that. I know Smash Bros. Does. Like, definitely does their own take on their songs, but I just wasn't expecting that route. There is one version of a Smash Bros. Song that I really, really enjoy. I don't know what Smash Bros. It was. It might have been Ultimate. But it was the Gerudo Valley version. And it's like all flamenco sounding. I'm like, yeah, that works. That works perfectly. Because that's pretty much like the intent of the original. So I actually do wonder that sometimes. I wonder, since Nintendo is probably in cahoots with Nintendo. Like, for example, like if anyone knows, like if the developers for Ultimate, reached out to older developers or older creators of the original Donkey Kong Country to get their take on, maybe it was a mixture of both. Do their own thing, follow the melody, or also, hey, what were you intending to do back then when you had limitations? Because now we could just do it. So, that's that. This is going to be very interesting to me. I think this is going to be one of the weirdest reactions I do, probably. Let me, what's the term I'm looking for? Let me set the stage here. I completely forgot that Cloud was in this game until now. Apparently Sephiroth is too. I don't even know that. So, okay. Long story short, I discovered FF7 here. Fell in love with the soundtrack. Played remake first. Played the original. Had a blast. Played Rebirth. Amazing game. I have made videos with Aerith's theme in it, talking about the top 20 songs in FF7. So like I'm very familiar with FF7 soundtrack. Now, when I think Smash Bros, the last thing I ever think of is Aerith. Not because she's not cool or anything, but like she's not, and I don't mean this, sorry, Aerith lovers, but she's not that like exciting. You know what I mean? She's great and great for the plot. But I think Smash Bros, I think of like eccentric, you know, like this, Cloud and Sephiroth, maybe even Zack. And Aerith's theme is really sad. So I'm super curious what they're going to do here. That's what I mean by that. I love Aerith, don't get me wrong. But I know the FF7 crowd out there can get really like defensive about, you know, girl characters in the game. All I'm saying is I just would not expect any association with Aerith in Smash whatsoever. So this is going to be a very interesting, and it's probably going to be a complete shift from what we just heard, unless that's also mariachi style. This is Aerith's theme from Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. What is going on? Oh, they just start from the chorus. This is the chorus section of the original. Oh, Nobuo Matsu worked on Brawl. I wonder if he worked on this. I know for sure Nobuo Matsu worked on Brawl. No way. Okay. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, it works, it works. They just made it more uplifting. I remember there was a rumor for a while that they thought he was her brother because of they have the same bangs. I think though that was like an early concept though. I could be wrong about that. Ooh. Oh. The harp in the background? Ooh, this is good. Hearing the vocal? Wow, they are geniuses over there making this song work like this. She's not playable, is she? I doubt it. If they're gonna make anyone playable, it's gotta be Tifa. Wow. This is so bizarre. I can't believe. You know, oh, dude, I'm so impressed by that. Seriously. I'm not gonna spoil FF7 for you. If you haven't ever played FF7, there's a reason it's the most popular Final Fantasy. It's very relatable. It's a very great story, great characters, blah, blah, blah. Amazing soundtrack. And if you didn't know, the composer of that soundtrack helped out in Brawl. I think, I could be wrong. I could very well be wrong, but I think Nobuo Matsu composed the theme to Smash Bros. Brawl. I think. Anyways. This didn't really sound like him, like an arranging of his. Could be. He definitely composed it, but I don't think this is his version, does it say? No. But what you have to understand, though, is that when it comes to FF7, there's a lot of low-hanging fruit, like the battle theme, the Airbuster theme, Those Who Fight Further, just about anything other than Aerith's theme, if I'm being honest. That's why this is cool. It's totally against the status quo, that it shouldn't work, and yet it does. It works. It relates to Cloud. It relates to Sephiroth. Well, Aerith is pretty pivotal to the entire game, if I'm being honest. She is the game. This is a really okay. So, tiny little history lesson. It's kind of like two songs in one. It's flowers blooming in the church, which is a happier version, pretty much when you first meet her, and then there's Aerith's theme, which is the sadder version, but they're basically the same. It's a very solemn song, but it's also hopeful at the same time. It's not just pure sadness. It's just like a melancholy emptiness, but it's super gorgeous, and it's one of the most memorable motifs. There's a lot of motifs in FF7, but that's one of the most familiar. But to turn that into a battle theme with like a kind of an upbeat feel, adding vocal chorus, and honestly just deciding also deciding to start on the chorus was a smart decision. That's how I was one of the most curious things about it. Like, how are they going to start the song? Because the song starts really slow with just a couple piano notes, but they went straight into the meat of the song. I'm just so surprised by that. It totally fits in line with the last song we just heard, which is Crocodile King from Donkey Kong. Somehow, a flower girl that is in a JRPG about a world in turmoil somehow is now canon with a crocodile king from a Donkey Kong game. Smash Bros. Let me know if there's any other FF7 songs in Ultimate, and maybe I'll check them out myself. Or I mean, like, I'll react to them, but maybe like I'll push them up in the because every now and then I'll do stuff for myself. You know, I don't everything I do is request, but every now and then, you know, I'm like I'll give myself a freebie. Let me know if there's any more FF7 related stuff in Ultimate, and I'll see what's up. That was cool. That was really, really cool. They were both cool. I'm glad I did this because it was an accidental video because I missed the original Gangplank Galleon. So hearing this mishmash was something else. But I'm glad I did it. That was awesome. Super cool. Let me know who arranged this one. This version right here. Okay, cool. All right. Damn, where's part 3 of the remake series? Thanks to the requesters. Thanks to everyone you see on screen. I could not be here without them. Thanks to you for watching. My name is Jesse. In the auditorium. Later.